What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about getting ready for patch 6.3, what you guys should be focusing on, the teams that you should be prioritizing, kind of talking about who should have your gear, like what gear tier to take characters up to, and just what to expect with the new characters coming in this patch. So if you guys find this video helpful and informative, you do enjoy it, make sure that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's dive right into it, and let's start by talking about the big thing coming here, and that is going to be Doom 3. This is the new raid coming, and with it, we are going to be getting a new Elite Teal orb that is going to be in the raid store, but that is going to be how we primarily get Tier 17 uniques for Teal gear. So, with this in mind, like, it's already established raid teams should be the most important thing for you overall, but this is just solidifying it because part of what we're getting with Tier 17 is also the sagas coming here with Apocalypse and your Horsemen, and that in order to fully complete the sagas, you will need Tier 17 on the required characters for those teams. It's going to be each Horseman and their respective teams. We know Morgan Le Fay with Darkhold, Rogue with Unlimited X-Men, Red Hulk with your Gamma team. We don't know who Death is going to be yet. We have some suspicions, but we'll figure out eventually. But not even that, but also to fully complete the Apocalypse saga, you also need Tier 17. So Doom 3 and raids is right now like your number one priority. Raids should already be your number one priority. This is just solidifying it even more because this will be one of the few ways you can do this. You can also get Cosmic Crucible. Knowing how things work with Cosmic Crucible, that's probably going to be it's probably going to be expensive to get each Tier 17 unique out of there. So, you know, raid's probably going to be your primary source of getting your Tier 17 uniques. And we have a new raid team coming along as well. We are finally, after what has been two and a half, 3 years, it feels like it's been forever. We are finally getting a tech raid team for the Doom raid. And this is going to be the Bionic Avengers. We already know we've got reworks to Iron Man and Vision. We're also getting Deathlock, Vision, and Hulkbuster as well. A new 5-man team is going to be part of this tech team, and that honestly should be one of your main priorities right now. If you go and look, like you can see, I've got Vision there, but yeah, both Vision and I've got my Iron Man somewhere as well. He's sitting at Tier 15. I'm basically getting those characters ready to go. I have not sunk any T4s into them. I'm keeping them at Tier 15 right now because that's all I really need for these characters. Because usually, especially with how these kits look for the Bionic Avengers, there's a lot of ability energy flying around with these characters. There's Deflect, there's Barrier, Vision especially, she's cleansing with her passive and her ultimate, and there's a ton of ability energy flying around that's going to be healing them up. Yeah, like, the tech raid team is in a good spot, and it's pretty much in a way in that they're going to be pretty much required for the tech raid team, or the tech notes here. We went over this yesterday. If you guys want to check it out, we went over each individual set of the Doom 3 raid maps. There'll be a link down below or link up in the corner for you guys to check that out. But yeah, this is going to be a very important team, and in my opinion, this should be your number one priority for this patch. Raid team is very important. We have Web Warriors, we have Bionic Avengers. Your new Warriors and your Eternals are pretty much going to carry your Mystic nodes. The things that are going to look a little dicey are going to be skill. Secret Avengers and skill are kind of running into a rough patch with Doom 2 and the higher difficulties, but now in Doom 3, it's probably going to be a little bit more difficult. And Astonishing X-Men, I have a feeling we're going to be due soon for a new mutant raid team. On paper, Astonishing X-Men is just going to get destroyed in Doom 3. I'm not feeling confident on it. Hopefully I'm proven wrong, and when the patch goes live today, we'll get some testing in with Doom 3, and we'll see how things pan out. But right now, I am not ready for mutants in Doom 3. We'll see how things pan out there. But yeah, number one priority should always be raid teams, and with that, Bionic Avengers. Make sure your characters are ready to go. Now, I had mentioned this already. I don't have any T4s on Wave 1 on my Iron Man or my Vision right now. And that's honestly ideal because, like, there's no need to get those T4s yet because we don't know what reworked abilities are going to require T4s. Knowing Scopely, there's probably going to have to be a hefty amount of T4s on this team. And you can also see I have not put ISO on Vision. I'm not quite sure what to do with Vision yet in terms of ISO. I'm feeling pretty confident about Raider on Iron Man because there's just a ton of crit chance with his passive here, and there'll be even more once everything goes through with a rework. He's gonna have a ton of crit chance. I know for Deathlock, I'm probably gonna be running Raider as well. Probably Raider on Vision too, but again, we need to see what these striker abilities are gonna do. We'll see how everything plays out. That I heard, according to Scopely, the striker on Deathlock can also apply ability energy. So we'll see how it all pans out. But yeah, right now, Bionic Avengers should be your #1 priority. Another team to keep your eye on is going to be your Gamma team. And this one's a little more important. And this is, you can see I've already put tier 16 on both She-Hulk and regular Hulk. This is going to be a new Apex War team when Red Hulk arrives in 6.4. It's going to be a while yet. But for now, I am putting tier 16, at least on a couple of them. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is simply because of the stuff with the Saga. We have your Gamma team here. It's going to be your Apex War team. But also, you know, you need tier 17 on them eventually for Apocalypse to fully unlock everything. But just to unlock Apocalypse in the future, you need tier 16 on them. So you gotta have tier 16 on your Horseman teams. So Darkhold's got to be tier 16, Unlimited X-Men's got to be tier 16, Gamma's going to have to be tier 16, and whatever the 4th Horseman team as well, that will also have to be tier 16. Yeah, there's a lot to plan here just with those characters, and this is also, it's important to note as well, in that we already have idea of what we're going to need for the next Horseman, and that is going to be the Red Hulk, and we know the teams we will need for that, and that will be coming in 6.4, probably towards the end of that patch. So we're probably looking at about 2 to 3 months before the War Scourge event shows up. But we know we need Ravagers, Wave 1 Avengers, and we also need the Hero as Guardians. I completely blanked on them for a moment there. But, you know, I talked about this quite a bit the other day as well. You have some double dipping here. So Wave 1 Avengers, like you have Iron Man, you have Hulk, are both getting reworks and new teams with this patch. So they should be your top gearing priorities right now. Hulk, obviously, because of the Gamma team. Iron Man, because of the Bionic Avengers or Bio-Avengers. But you can also double dip with them and also use them for this new event, or for this new Scourge. And also, you know, this is where I talked about with just kind of figuring out who's the best team to take in for the Scourge. And I kind of talked about how Wave 1 Avengers, because you have several reworked characters here, Hulk, Iron Man, and Thor, all get reworks in new teams. Black Widow, and you bring in like Mighty Thor. And you get your Hero as Guardians and Wave 1 Avenger combo team. Your Ravagers as well, if you built them up for the tech raid, or you built them up for war, you know, that kind of helps you get going there. But, you know, keep in mind, and this is something to stress as well, when you go back to the what we require with the sagas, there's no star requirements here. And this is very important, is that, and I'll probably talk about this a little bit more in another video later on, you don't need to panic farm gear and stars for these characters, because at the end of the day, we know we require gear tier, but there's no star requirements for these events, which means that you can have a tier or a 3-star horseman and still do the saga as long as you have the corresponding gear on them. Obviously, higher stars are going to be easier, but this is something too where, because of these leaderboards and the star rewards and the shard rewards with the leaderboards, is that, you know, people are freaking out and like rushing to build up the gear on them and the stars and everything else. You know, honestly, as long as you have the characters unlocked, you should be okay with this. And this, I think, is going to be very important to keep in mind, is that don't go full sweaty. Don't try to throw tier 16 on all these Scourge teams. You know, don't, like I mentioned before, you know, Hulk and Iron Man, like, you can double dip with them. They're going to be top teams for certain things. I mean, Hulk, obviously, you need him for the legendary, for the Horseman team. Iron Man's a raid character. You know, those two alone should be able to carry you through some of these tougher Scourges, even at a lower difficulty. Like, I think I did difficulty 6 for Rogue. and called it a day. That was enough to get me the ability to unlock her. I took her up to 4 yellow, 3 red, and then I was able to buy her 4th red star in the Elite store. So at the end of the day, this is something where build smartly, don't panic, don't worry about the stars in your horsemen. As long as you have them unlocked, you're gonna be okay. That's the important thing to note. Make sure you're building up your raid teams, most importantly. And if you have certain raid characters that can double dip, like Hulk and Iron Man, those should be your top priorities. But let me know what you guys think down below. What are your all's plans with 6.3? What are you guys rushing to build up? Are you rushing? Are you panicking? Are you way behind? Let me know down below. As always, if you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.